We're connecting. Yep, we are. We're live. We're live from not New York City, but it is Saturday night. So, hey, what's going on, Fab? How are you?
Oh, not bad, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. It is absolutely crazy, and I had no idea it was going to be this crazy. But we did Motor Trend, and now we're gearing up for the Southern Detailers Conference.
Yep.
We got you guys coming in, just absolutely trying to. Just absolutely trying to get ready and get prepared for all that. I'm hoping for a really good turnout. I've gotten a lot of emails, a lot of DMs from a lot of people going, what day is Fab going to be there? What day is Phil going to be there? What day is Papa Smurf going to be there? The good news is that I got 3 of the 4 Horsemen all weekend long, and then we got Phil on Saturday.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I'll be there by the time the show starts on Friday. I may be there a little bit earlier than that, but most likely just be by the time the show starts.
Okay.
Which is I believe you said at noon, right? So
it's 12 to 5, and then they do these educationals in the morning. They have there's a bunch of different vendors and presentations that they do in the morning. And we were able to pick up 2 slots on both days. Normally it's only, it's basically first come, first serve, and you get one shot at it. But I started trying to get us involved in this probably November of last year, and they didn't even have anything set up. And as you know, it's switched venues, it switched cities.
Yeah.
And so like I was just every other week, I was just like, hey. And then finally they were like, listen, if you just leave us alone, we'll give you almost anything that you want. So basically there was I guess there's some really big dogs that did the show last year, and they actually had first crack at stuff, but we're still in the first row, and we got a corner booth so that we have double the space to actually interact with the attendees and stuff like that. So I think we made out really, really good. Anyway,
I just look forward to hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, me too. For real. I don't think we needed you were one of the first live streams on my channel. I think you might have been the second. I think Eric was the first, and then you were the second. So I don't think we need to do a Batman villain origin story with you tonight. But I'm sure there's still a lot of things that people want to hear from you about. I obviously this little series of short lives is basically just to really promote the SDC.
Yeah,
trying to get everybody to come down there.
We'll do the promotion for them.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, everybody. Even I was talking with Brian from Apex. I saw him. He was here in the warehouse on Wednesday, and then I actually drove out to see him yesterday. We're working on a couple of projects, and I just needed to see him. And he said nobody has seen any kind of publicity from these guys, which is really, really disappointing.
Yeah, they put something out on Instagram the other day, but that's the first thing I've seen from them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was like a little video montage. That was better than nothing.
Which the Fab family ended up being in somehow. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the guy at the very beginning, his name is Nathan Warren. Frontline Shines. He is one of my good customers here in Indianapolis. Very, very knowledgeable, good detailer. So hopefully he'll come over. He said he was going to swing by the booth and say what's up to everybody, because I told him we were going to be there. So somebody we can try to. I'm trying to get him to try Phoenix products, but he's one of those people where he's like, nope, I use this because I know it works. I'm like, but you don't know how good this is. I mean, that's the hard.
I know a guy that had a bottle of Kronos in his garage for a year and a half, maybe.
From what I understand. Yeah. From what I understand, he didn't have a car to put the ceramic coating
on. Oh! Is that what it was? Oh,
yeah, it was. I know who you're talking about. But no, that's the hardest part of my job, is trying to get people to try new things, man. And it is just so difficult. I did not expect that to happen when I started the business.
Well, that was at my previous job. That was securing new business and whatnot was one of my jobs. And I can tell you, one of the easiest things that I have found when working with certain and some detailers, especially those that are like that. Oh, I've used this for 200 years and it's the greatest thing in the universe, and I'll never use anything else. There's a certain level of I don't want to use the word arrogance, but there's a certain level of arrogance that comes with those individuals. And I find that if you kind of placate to that arrogance, you can get a lot farther with them. One of my biggest one of the biggest and easiest ways I could get them to convert from whatever the product they were using to the the product that I was pushing would be um, basically placating to their intelligence. And you're just like, well, I understand that you've been doing this for 20 years, and you know, quite frankly, from a marketing point of view, I would really like to know how this product, my product, could be better if you
Yeah.
could just use it for like a week or whatever, and I'll come back in a week and then you tell me what's wrong with it, and how I can make it better. And then that gets it in their hands. They're like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then once they try it and they use it and they go, well, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. I'd like to play with it a little bit more. Do you have any that I can, that on the truck that I can buy?
Yeah. Well, the hardest part for me though is I will give out free samples. I actually buy these off Amazon, right? And they're just bottles that I can put like Fabulous finishing polish or whatever in, 2 ounce bottles. You can do an entire car. Actually, do 2 cars with this probably. And I give out samples,
Yeah,
but I'll go back for months and months and months and like, I haven't had a chance to try it. Well, how many cars have you done a paint correction on since I gave it to you? I
sure.
mean, well, how have you not had a chance to try free products that you're getting for free? That just
Yeah, I had a
kills
guy
me.
that had a whole box of product underneath his stairs for 3 months, and then and it was, I don't have a chance, I don't have time, I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm so busy that I don't have time to try something new. I'm just going to go with the tried and the true. And then I remember I brought Ray with me. Um, he was the ops manager. I brought Ray with me, and he was also, been a detailer for a bazillion years. And he came into the shop and was just like, "What are you using right now?" And he showed him the bottle. And he's like, "All right." He handed the bottle of our product. Use this exactly the way you're using that, and then use it exactly the same way. There's no learning curve. Just use it the same way.
Yep.
And I think, and the reason why it worked is because the two products worked equally. One wasn't better than the other, but the price point was like a third of what he was paying. I think it was that what is that compound, was it Mazerna's out of Germany or whatever it is.
Menzerna, yeah.
Yeah, Manzerna. So it was Manzerna's, and it's like $60 a quart versus $30 a quart of the stuff
Yeah.
that we gave them. So that ultimately
I
is what swayed them, was the price difference.
I literally though have guys that they will tell me that look, I know I'm paying probably twice as much as I should, but I'm only using it because this brand, this is the only brand that I'll use. I'm like, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You don't
Yeah,
want to save your business money? I mean,
right.
it kills me, man.
Yeah. So like there's only two ways that you're gonna make more money. Either charge
Yeah.
more for the product, or cut your
Cut your costs.
extra costs.
Yeah. And
That's yeah.
I try to explain that to them, and it's just I might as well talk to this wall right here. Yeah. There's some customers though, don't get me wrong. There are some customers that when I give them a sample, the next time I see them, like, dude, I tried it, I loved it, or hey, it worked about the same as what I got. And like what you said, be like, well, how much does this cost? And there's
Right.
times where I'll say, well, here's what the cost. Oh, yeah, well, that beats it. I'll just buy that instead of this. And sometimes it's like, well, that's a little bit more expensive than what I'm already currently using, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's just getting them to try. It's the hardest part.
Sure.
Papa Smurf, what's up, man?
Hey, we got a pretty packed house going on right now. It's a lot of
Yeah, we got
fun.
Cat Guy, Texas DD.
Yep.
I like to shout people out. Mario Santiago, Tim McLaughlin, which we'll be seeing him in Seller Detailers Conference.
Yep. Mike
Uh,
Seward, he's new to the program. He got turned on to us by Nacho Man.
okay,
I
who's
don't.
that?
This his name is Mike Seward. He's actually a local boy for me. He's about 45 minutes north of here.
Is his name different on here though?
I have it highlighted. It's not on your screen. Mike
Oh,
Seward,
I don't know how
Seward.
I
He's
see it.
coming.
There we go. How the heck did I'm looking through that. I don't even see it for some reason. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm able. I paid for the upgrade for StreamYard, so now I'm able to broadcast on multiple platforms. So I'm streaming on the Facebook channel as well as
Oh, that
YouTube.
that makes sense because I see it says Facebook on his thing. So what's up,
Yep.
Mike Stewart? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming.
Yep. Texas DD. Super Do 2K first. Superado. Is that how you pronounce it? Superado.
Yeah, I'd say Superado and Daniel DeCrane.
Yeah, nice, cool. Hit the
Yeah,
likes
good.
button. That's right. Thanks. Hola, Brian and Aaron from Humberto. I try to write first in the comment section from now on whenever I do a live stream because I'm the only one that knows when I'm posting it.
Yep.
Just
The only way to beat it's the only way to beat them.
That's right. It's the only way. It's the only way. What is Ryan saying? The mass hole of hobbyists and not full-time detailers are afraid to get out of their comfort zone. They have a routine and they stick to it whether or not it's the most modern solution. Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I 100% agree.
What kills me is the market within the last 5 to 7 years, dare I say, it's changing so fast that these products these guys are detailing with, if they would just try the new stuff, they realize I get my job done way faster now if I just use this new product.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about this from the very beginning when we were working on Fab Polish together. It's just, every year, every make and model, the paint is different, and you have to, I think that's one of the great things about my product line is how versatile it is depending on what pad you're using, because it can go either way. You can from a hard paint or a soft paint, and as opposed to just constantly grinding out one thing and dusting everywhere and making just a mess.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest part about it being a YouTuber is I'll get people ask me questions. Well, do I need to follow this polish or this compound up with something else? It depends on your paint. I mean, some paint you can do a one step and it will look amazing. Some paint, and dare I say I found this on Fords especially, that when you compound, I don't care what compound you're using, what polish you're using, it's going to still leave the paint hazy and you have to follow it up. But when people ask me that question all the time on YouTube, I get it all the time. Like, I have no idea without seeing the paint. I don't know if you can or not. And it's not what people want to hear, but it's just reality, unfortunately. But yes, paint is changing constantly. Interiors are changing constantly. Interiors are getting made cheaper. This fabric they're putting on seats is garbage. You got to be careful what you use on headliners. The leather is not leather like it used to be. I mean, everything is changing in the detailing world, and you just can't just go and use all these old products and expect them to work. So
it's Superado, as in like Silverado. I like that. I want to say hello to Romeo. Thanks for coming in. But also, the market is almost too saturated to be able to stand out. And that's why you have a company that is backed by the 4 Horsemen, because they have beat my drum since before we even founded the company. You guys have been absolutely unbelievably supportive, and I could not ask for better friends in the industry. And that being said, every single person can come down and get your autograph and selfie and all kinds of stuff with the 4 Horsemen at the Southern Detailers Convention. Starts on Friday, June 2nd. Doors for the actual show floor open at noon, but you can come early and get an educational from both Papa Smurf and Brian from Apex. They will be coming in on Thursday, so they'll be with me at the educationals Friday morning. You're coming in a little bit later because you live 2 hours away and you're coming with the whole fam. So all is forgiven.
We got a lot to do Friday morning before we can even leave the house. So
yeah, for sure.
I got a question.
Yeah,
I got a fly just flew right in my eyes. Southern Detailers Conference last year. So the training or whatever you're talking about beforehand.
Yeah.
So last year we had our tickets, but they wouldn't let us into the training. You had to have special tickets, and
you have to buy educational. That is correct. You have to buy educationals.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if people knew that on here. They may not be able to come if you don't buy those tickets. You're not gonna be able to get in early, to do the educational stuff without buying those too. So
No, that's
okay.
that's a good point. I probably should have made mention of that
Yeah,
2 live streams ago.
I mean, you can show up, but you ain't gonna be able to get in.
But yeah, I mean, you can always buy tickets at the door. You can also do
Yeah.
that. You can buy
Do
tickets
they
at the door.
sell them at the door?
Yep, for sure. I
Okay.
thought so. I
Oh,
thought
I didn't
so.
think they did. I thought it was online only, but maybe not.
But that would be terrible. That would be an
Because
absolutely horrible idea to just sell it online.
because like last year when we got there, we had already bought our tickets, and you go in and they have a table set up and they give you a lanyard with your name badge and everything on it from when you bought your ticket. So I don't remember. I could be wrong, Aaron. I don't remember there being a ticket booth, but maybe there was. I don't.
Maybe that's why they moved to Louisville to the Expo
Maybe.
Center. Because I mean, again, my background in conventions is comics. I was media coordinator for Dynamite Entertainment. They're responsible for The Boys and Red Sonja and Lone Ranger comics and a bunch of other stuff. And then, of course, I was a manager for a comic book company store here in the area. So I did a lot of conventions that way, and I would just assume that most conventions ran the same way. But I mean, I don't know. This is the first time that we're doing a car show, and maybe
Well, and I think Lexington, was a terrible idea in the first place. But I think the reason they did it in Lexington was the guy that started the Southern Detailers Conference,
right?
his detailing business was like right down the street from the convention center. So that's probably why it was always in Lexington. But now that he's gone, they've decided to move it, which I think was a very good idea because Lexington, when we were there, is pretty run down. Not a whole lot to do there either. So Louisville is a pretty nice city. We drive through Louisville every year on our way to Panama City from Indianapolis. So it's a pretty nice town. Pretty nice
Our guy Tim in the chat room, his brother lives in Louisville, and so he's been pumping me with restaurant ideas and places to eat. And Saturday night, we're probably going to go out to a place that can hold a pretty decent amount of people. Again, for the after party, I'm not telling people where we're going on the live streams. They have to show up at the booth, and we'll tell them where we're going to be. But yeah, anybody wants to come out and share an apple juice and eat some Kentucky food, it's going to be a good time. So come on down. It's going to be a good time. What's that?
Will the after party where we go eat and stuff, will that be kid friendly? Because I have kids.
I know you do. Why wouldn't it be? Like Shoonies or something? I don't know.
Just asking.
No, it's going to be 21 and over only.
Well, I can tell you, if I tell Mrs. Fab that she has to stay in the room with the kids and I'm going to go out, there's going to be a problem. You go talk to Aaron. Don't fight with me. You go talk to Aaron.
That's fair. I believe Papa Smurf's wife already wants to stab me. I think the word was, I'm going to cut him with a knife. I don't even remember what I did to call that thunder down, but yeah. So
Brittany's after you like that.
What's that?
I said Brittany's after you like that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the face. Maybe it's the face. Maybe it's because I sport the T-shirt better than he does. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Oh man,
makes her want.
Yes, we're gonna go for cherry Pepsi. You're right. There's cherry Pepsi in here, but you just can't see it.
So gross.
The place may be kid friendly, but the company may not be. Texas DD, I think you're on something right
there.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. But yeah,
it's nothing my kids haven't seen, especially, dare I say, my wife's side of the family. It can get pretty crazy.
No, I honestly, I just want us to all be able to have a good time, and doing, 21 and over kind of stuff has zero appeal to me. I'd rather just, good food. Good
Papa Smurf said, Aaron, she heard you. I may not make the flight. Hey, he's been telling me he's going to buy his family a puppy for the longest time. So just buy her a puppy, man, and she'll let you go.
That's right. He was listening.
What's up, who?
He was listening. Now you're in trouble. It's your brother-in-law, right?
Yep, that's my brother-in-law, Todd. Yeah. Yep. He says, Humberto says, all I know is next to the booth will be Pepsi. It better be Pepsi. Aaron
Yeah,
better bring me a freaking case of cherry
it'll be
Pepsi.
on the floor or in the trash can beside the booth. That's what you're absolutely right.
Man, you don't know what's good for you.
I know for a fact that no one's ever said, "Hey, can I have a rum and Pepsi?" Ever?
That's okay.
No one has ever said
That's
that.
okay. That's okay.
Can I have a rum and Coke? Yeah, can I have a rum and Coke? Showed that last video you sent of
Harley, Harley's my puppy.
okay. Oh, right.
Or else.
It's awesome.
So,
Look at this
how
guy.
are you getting everything there? Just out of curiosity.
Caravan. I mean, I figure the luggage will be strapped to the roof and everything else will be inside.
Are they supplying tables and everything?
I had to rent them.
Okay.
In true union fashion, I got charged for everything. I think the booth came with a chair, so I had to rent five more, and I had to rent a table, and I had to rent the curtain to go in front of the table. I mean, it was amazing how nickel and dime this whole thing is. The only thing that could make it worse, we did a show in New York, the Big Apple Con, and it was 100% union run. You couldn't even bring your own stuff onto the show floor. You had to hire a union group to load up all of your stuff out of your van onto a pallet, and then another union guy would come along with a forklift and grab the pallet, and then it's just just money.
Well, I know that I was talking to one of my I guess suppliers, what you call them, last year at Southern Detailers Conference, and he said they had to FedEx everything in. Everything they brought, they had to FedEx in. I was like, holy crap, dude, that'd be expensive. He goes, oh, it was expensive.
Oh my gosh. There's no way you could do
They
that.
FedExed a hood and everything. I mean, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I was able to pick up a brand new hood from again. I'll give a shameless plug to Jersey Auto Body here in Ariel, New Jersey. Jamie is the owner. I have known him for a mazillion years. When I was the supervisor over at a hospital system, I oversaw the ambulance fleet, and basically every and any time one of those ambulances got into a wreck, we'd send it over to Jersey Auto Body. So I've known him for years. He's a fantastic fellow. Gave me an awesome new hood, and it is Phoenix blue. It's just gorgeous, and I can't wait. Like I said, we got a corner booth, so on the aisle side, it'll be you guys lined up, and you can do pictures and sign autographs and do whatever. And then on the other side of the aisle, we'll have the hood set up so we can do like little demos if they want, or pose for a picture with one of you guys. It's really gonna.
I think the big thing there would be to let them, apply the coating, or let them
For sure.
apply Titan. Me showing you how to do it doesn't really show you that you can do it.
No, I agree. I think that's fantastic. I think that's absolutely. I want it to be as interactive as possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever they're comfortable with, if they go, Brian, can you show me how to use it? Or if they go, let me give it a shot, you can do that too.
Well, here, I'll tell you this. So my wife works at a John Deere dealership, and her detailer, I have been trying to get to try a ceramic coatings forever. I mean, close to 2 years now, at least, if not more. He's always, oh man, I'm so afraid. I can't do it. I'm just going to mess everything up. I can't. I said, trust me, it's not bad. So I couldn't get him to do it. Well, the other day he came over and I did some stuff to his truck. And while he was here, I said, hey, you want to apply a ceramic coating? And he's like, how are we going to do that? I said, I have a test hood. I have tons of test hood and doors and everything else back there. So I brought a test hood out. We cleaned it up real quick, and we got Chronos out. I already had an open bottle of it. And I said, here. And I gave it to him, and he applied it on there, and he applied it to the hood. And we waited. Actually, the first one I waited about a minute and a half, and he wiped it off. And he goes, oh my gosh, are you serious? I said, I told you. And he's like, this is easier than waxing a car. I said, I've been trying to tell you for 2 years, So then the second time I said, I want to show you really can't mess it up. We put it on there and we let it sit on there for probably 5 minutes. And we wiped it right off as easy as we did at a minute and a half, honestly. And at that point, he was like, I'm going to start offering ceramic coatings now. I told you could have been making all this money 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, it is very intimidating, and again, if it wasn't for Brian from Apex, I still would be afraid of doing ceramic coatings because there is a kind of a stigma to it of it being super technical, which is why it's so expensive. And it turns out the reason why it's so expensive is because it's all that paint correction that goes into it. I mean, it is a very
Not the
labor
coating.
intensive
Yep.
process to get it to the point to coat, and then once you get it to that point, then let's do it. You know what I mean?
And that's why I tried telling him. I kept saying the coating's the easy part. It's getting to the coating is what sucks more than anything. The coating is the simple. Now, back in the day when the coatings were still pretty new, yeah, they were hard to deal with. They'd
Right.
high spot on you real bad, streak on you really bad, but not today's coatings. Coatings have come a long way. There's no reason for anybody, and I try to tell all my customers, my 10-year-old daughter in there, if I let her do it, she could apply any Chronos coatings, no problem at all. It'd be super simple. She could do it. That's how easy it is, and that's how I sell it on the truck. So I tell
Right.
people that. And it's just, and I think that kind of gives people peace of mind. Oh wow, it really is that simple that you say your daughter can. Yeah, absolutely, she could do it. I know she could. So yeah, it's just getting people to try it. Once again, we're back to that.
I mean, and that's what this is all about. The educationals. This is what you as an influencer do. Week in and week out, is you bring that information to them, and then you have an opportunity like the SDC here in a couple of days where
Yep.
they're already paying to get in. So let's teach as much as we possibly can. Get that information in their hands. You have a really user friendly product line like the Phoenix line, where for me the true coming of age tale was when I did my stepson's Mercedes. I did it all by myself without Brian from Apex standing over me, or observing and not, the word isn't critiquing, but basically correcting me. Um, when I was able to do it by myself, and it took me 5 hours to do just a small little Mercedes, but I mean, it was gorgeous at the end. I mean, those
Yeah.
pictures of that mirror finish, and it was just like I've always kind of considered myself the village idiot when it comes to the hands-on. I can do technical all day. I can talk chemistry. I can talk. When I was going through EMT school, it was there is a really, really big difference between academia knowledge and on the street knowledge, and the approach to being on the street is vastly different than being in the classroom. And I always felt that I was always very intimidated to actually pick up a wheel and to do something to somebody else's car, because it's their car, um, and so when I actually, he was like, the vehicle's been neglected. I just do whatever you can. And I said, I'll do the best that I can. And I used all of that knowledge and training that you guys have given me over the years. And I did it myself, I used the FAB polish and a 50/50 Euro pad. Um, and it was incredible. And I mean, I
Yeah.
felt so good, that I personally could do it. So, yeah, I think that, your job as an influencer and what you do as a detailer and what you do on the truck, that just getting that information out there, and kind of peeling away the fear of, it's really hard to screw it up. You're going to have to work at screwing it up. And
I've
that's
actually I've actually considered taking my test hood with me on my van, just to show people how simple it is. But
sure.
it takes up too much room. I don't have the
It
room
does
for it.
take a
I'd
lot of
love to be
room.
able to do that.
Well, when I first started going to SEMA, um, and the company that I worked for, they were really involved with B&B blending, and you go to the B&B blending booth. They'd have like these little, when they first introduced us to the ceramic coating line, the Jade product line, which is, it's an okay product.
I've yet to try it. I've got one.
Um, they had these really cool little squares. It was maybe a foot and a half by a foot and a half, and of I don't, of painted panel. and that's how they first introduced us to the coating line, and he just kind of applied it to this little 2 foot by 2 foot grid, let it cure, showed us how it cured, and shows
Was it plastic?
I don't think it was plastic. I don't think so. I mean, I personally never picked it up and felt it. He had it on a table, kind of propped up on a table. But it looked like it could have been anywhere from like fiberglass, like black fiberglass, to actually coated piece, like a clear coated piece of metal. That was black as well. I don't know for sure exactly what it was, but you could see all the properties of it. He showed us how to level it, or he showed us how to take it up. He used a waffle window towel to pick it up, to wipe it up. So I mean, that was our first. So if space is an issue for you, that might be something you want to consider checking into. I don't know.
I go into some of these shops that they have a display for ceramic coatings, and it's actually pretty cool. It's like a miniature hood, and then it's got a water fountain that goes down it.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that too.
Constantly. Pretty neat. That's kind of what it reminds me of right there.
Hey, Papa Smurf's got a question for you.
So talking about the lights above here, the hexagon lights, I love them, but they're more for show, taking pictures, making it look cool. They're not the greatest for paint correction.
Your photos actually made a couple of my brochure for the ceramic coatings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to pick them up. Can't wait to get them.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what them look like in person.
Yeah, I'm bringing all that stuff with me.
But yeah, to answer your question, I do love them, but they're more for show, more for pictures, or right when the customer comes, picks the car up, turn the lights on, so it looks really neat. Because the cord gets pretty hot with all those lights on. Now, with that being said, I think that I can plug another plug-in on this corner over here, and I think that it would help with the heat issue. But it's still just for show, though, more than anything.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So speaking of wind, it's true. Free is always nice. Free is always nice. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, I know that you've been extremely busy. Running off to Talladega Nights, and obviously you're a family man and whatnot. Is there any reason, or is there going to be any return to the Saturday night FAB family hangout
live stream? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
I know it takes a lot out of you.
I think that the winter time is the best time for me to do those. This time of year, I really don't have time to do it. I'm always doing something. I mean, I am constantly doing something. But that's just me. I have to be doing something. I can't sit around. I just can't. I'm the person that I've got to be out in the garage. I got to be outside. I got to be doing. If it's above 40 degrees, 30 degrees really outside, I am outside or I'm in the garage, always doing something when I'm off. But yeah, I might bring them back. But to be honest with you, it's been nice not doing it, not having to worry about doing it, because a lot of times I'll be detailing all day long. And I look at my watch, I'm like, oh, crap, I got a live stream. And then I do the live stream. By the time I get in, it's 10:30. And I'm like, I just want to sit down, but it's already basically time to go to bed for me. I go to bed early. I'm in bed by 11:30 every night of the week, and even on the weekends. I go to bed early. So it's been nice not having to worry about the live streams. No, I don't have a definite answer for you. I don't.
That's fine. I always enjoy it. I like to be snarky from the cheap seats and whatnot. But
yeah, behind the keyboard.
It's a good time. It's just been a really great way to connect with you guys, and obviously get to know. I mean, this really is a family. You get to know all of these people that are in the chat rooms and stuff like that, and they've been unbelievably supportive to me. And I wouldn't know any of these people without you guys, except for Papa Smurf, and that's just because he's persistent. I mean, that guy, I was like, I don't want to talk to him. Can you just take all of my phone calls? If he calls, just tell him I'm in a meeting. But he just kept calling, and like he needed a friend. So finally, I was like, fine, I guess I'll be his friend.
You got to remember though that I helped Papa Smurf get his channel started. So
is that right?
Still, yeah.
Tell me that origin story.
Well, actually, so he was in some of my live streams, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but somehow we were messaging or something on, I think it was Instagram, and I was like, man, why don't you start a channel? Because he said he was thinking about starting a channel. Just do it, man. Just start it. And I think he started out by making a video on a company that's no longer there, Shiny's Detail. I think he got a mystery box. Is that right, Papa Smurf? And he made a video with his daughter sitting in the garage at like a table, I think is what it was, doing the mystery box. And I kind of encouraged him to start his channel, not knowing exactly what would happen, obviously, but from there, that's just where it took off. From there, we were messaging each other every day on Instagram videos. I messaged him today. He messaged me back today 2 or 3 times, and sometimes we kill each other with a million videos. But it's been great. It's gonna be so nice to meet him in person instead of through a camera every single day.
No doubt, no doubt.
And I told him, I said, you better not be sending me Instagram videos when I'm sitting right next to you, because that's what we're used to doing. Yep, Shiny's Detail Box. I thought it was. Yeah. So without me, though, Aaron, you wouldn't have met Papa Smurf. See,
it's true. It's true. I actually, I don't know. The original contact was Steve Carazino. He was basically our sales manager, and he did all of our social media stuff. So I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. But I think you and I had already met and been friends.
We had already talked.
Yeah, before I even. So I wanted to go back to this question that's on the screen. I used this is a cordless Shine Mate that Papa Smurf recommended when I first started the Phoenix. I was like, I need to get some basics so that I can play with the stuff, and I could work test hoods and get to know my product a little bit better. I think that there's a lot of people out there that just aren't hands-on, and they don't really know they don't know what they're selling, and that was a problem for me. So anyway, so I use the Shine Mate and the Europad 50/50 Europad and Fab polish. But to do
Fab's finishing polish finishes down great with the Eurofiber pad.
It really does. I'll show the pictures, but it really does. So my process was I used the Furies, and I basically just sprayed Furies everywhere, just everywhere. I did the Furies, and then I really paid attention to the wheels, and scrubbed the wheels and cleaned the wheels, and then hosed everything off. And then I used the Kraken as a pre-soak. So it was a 5-to-1 pre-soak in the pump foamer, and I sprayed that all over the entire vehicle and let that sit for a few minutes, and then I washed that off, and then I used the Apex Auto Wash in the IK Pro Foamer 12 Pro, whatever it's called. I soaped the whole vehicle, and then I used it, and then I did a bucket contact wash and washed that all down. And then I brought the vehicle inside the warehouse, dried it off, and then that's when I used the Fab polish and the Eurofiber pad. I went around the entire vehicle. Yeah. And then I followed it up with Titan. I just used Titan after that. I wiped it down, and then I used Titan. I didn't put
remember
a
when I was.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. I used Glossum Wax. I put Glossum Wax on with the red
waxing pad.
Yeah, the red Ultra, the final finish from Buff and Shine. This thing is awesome. I don't, whatever. The final finishing foam pad. Red. I used that with Glossum Wax. So I did the whole vehicle with the Fab polish. Then I went back around with the Glossum Wax, and then I used Titan. And it went from I think it was an 86 something on the gloss meter, and we finished with a 102.
Wow, that's awesome.
Not bad for my first shot by myself.
No, it's good. Papa Smurf says that I am responsible for your guys' friendship. So by the way, so you remember when I was doing the testing on Fabulous Finishing Polish, and I wet sanded the hood, and I sent you pictures and of where I put a piece of tape and how it finished down versus where it started. That was using a Eurofiber pad.
Yeah.
And fiber pad just works so good with FAB's finishing polish. It gives you the cut, but it gives you the finish, and it works amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
You don't have to follow it up.
I'm actually trying to I've been in conversations trying to get my own made. It'll be blue and orange versus black and white.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say you should have them make pads for you.
Yep, I'm working on it, and got these the ceramic applicators that are made. They have a rubber liner on the inside of the material so that all of your ceramic coating isn't getting sucked into the sponge. It's really, it's so cool. The technology that's out there, if you know who to ask, is just really, really cool. So it's the outer shell is still the same, that micro suede.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, between the micro suede and the actual sponge, is this rubber lining to keep it from absorbing all that ceramic coating. So you're gonna actually, it's just like that, except it's got a rubber core.
Well, this has these are coating saver applicators, and they also keep I don't know if it's rubber on the inside, but it has a barrier to keep your coating from going to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you can use the other side. So I use one side for one car and use the other side for another car is what I do.
These you can use all four sides. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, so you can use 3 sides on this one, but this one right here is raised where they stitched it. So you couldn't use this side of it. But yeah, I understand the technology. It's great to be that way too. And it's so much better than having to hold the stupid applicator, this silk pad or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The old school way, you had to hold it onto the block to apply. It's so much better just having an applicator, just go to town, go be done with it.
Agreed.
Now, have you found, does Chronos work better with a micro suede versus a microfiber?
Nope. Well,
either way works fine.
One of the main guys, he was talking earlier today, Ryan from Waxworks. Man, I lean on him a lot for all kinds of stuff. He actually uses these bricks. So these are the micro suedes. These are the micro suedes that I like. You can see that they have like zero texture.
Yeah.
And you can use 3 sides because the 4th side is raised. But you can use 3 sides. But Ryan uses these microfiber blocks.
I have some of those.
And he loves it. He puts it all over it, and he'll do huge patches at a time.
I always just use that for waxing. When somebody wants to wax, I use those for wax.
Yeah, he uses it for ceramic coatings.
Well, Phil Miranda, he uses I don't have any out. He uses round wax applicator pads, big 5-inch wax. Here, I'll show you. I've got them.
I got them too. I like the ones with the pockets in them.
Yeah, he gets the one with the pockets in it.
They're very hard to find. It's hard for me to get those in. Yeah, just like that.
And this is what he uses because he can use this whole area and then he just coats the car. That's what Phil Miranda uses.
It's the exact same material as this block.
Okay, yeah.
Which I think it's easier to hold the block than it is the round thing. But yeah, it's the exact same principle. And again, coatings are not what's scary. The paint correction is what should be scary. And that has already been, that monster's already been slayed. So I think more and more people that get exposed to the Chronos and its ease of use. I mean, look at this. This is no joke. Those big rounds are no joke, but you can use it. Yeah. And it's effective, and you can get, you get more surface done faster.
Kelly says, gonna try the Fab Polish and Euro Fiber tomorrow. You're gonna love that combination.
You are gonna love it. I tell you what, I looked like such a hero. It was awesome. They were expecting nothing out of me because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Look, I'll be honest with you. That's the best part about detailing for me. Don't get me wrong. When I do a detail and I make money, that's awesome. But the reaction from the customer trumps the money I make 90% of the time, because when you can take something to somebody and they don't expect a whole lot, like what you're saying, I don't ever tell people, oh yeah, I'll take care of that. It's going to look amazing. I never do that. I'm always like, yeah, we'll look at it, see what I can do with it. I'll do the best I can. Kind of like what you were saying. But when they come pick it up and they see it and they are just over the moon, I mean, that gets me more high than the money does. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
No, Hoop, I didn't buy Mrs. Fab a Harley. That's one of my buddies' Harleys. I'm coating with Chronos tomorrow or Monday, but I got to do a paint correction on it still. Yeah. Beautiful color though. Oh my gosh, you guys should see it. It's amazing. I love it.
I don't know if you saw it, but Apex just dropped a video on Hercules polisher.
Yes, the forced rotation.
Yeah, it's a beast, and it's super reasonable. Like, if I had known about that before I got this, I might have gone with this. Now I don't really know. I understand why forced rotation is important, but I don't know if somebody like me with such little experience would want forced rotation, because I feel like forced rotation, the stall mechanism is kind of like a, hey buddy, are you sure you want to be doing what you're doing kind of scenario. So I mean, obviously that would be more your area of expertise.
Well, I was at Harbor Freight the other day and I saw it and I was like, well, it looks just like the Flex 3401. Looks, and they obviously marketed right after that.
At a fraction of the price, though. That's
Flex
the case.
Flex may make it, but which is neither here nor there. Right. I used a Flex force rotation down in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was there at the Kosh Kimi event. I did not like force rotation. I did not like it at all. I'd much rather have my dual action polisher, and maybe I just need more time working with it. I did not like it. So.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah, Humberto likes it. Humberto says he likes it. So yeah, I guess it's an acquired taste. I kind of cut my teeth on a DA. A lot of my products, obviously, when we were testing them, were tested using a DA. So I'm going to, I'm on the DA side of life.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I have people tell me all the time in my truck, they're like, you use a rotary, right? I'm like, nah, I don't use a rotary. I use a DL. What in the world, man? You're not a real detailer if you don't use a rotary. What are you talking about? I don't. And then I look at their cars. I mean, literally, there's a dealership I go to that all they do is they sell high-end, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, Porsche, whatever, Bentley. They had a Bugatti one time. And I saw their cars in the parking lot, and they have holograms all down the sides of them. And he's the one that's always telling me, well, you have to use a rotary. You don't need a dual action polisher. But his cars look, I mean, you're talking $300,000-$400,000 cars that are trashed because he put a rotary on, didn't know what the heck he was doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what I'm doing with a rotary. I have never used a rotary. I don't think I ever will. I don't see a reason other than, yes, it does speed up the process. But you still got to follow it up with a DA. You have to.
Right. Well, I think, again, and this is just me sitting in the room listening to, the old men talking, and it would be, back in the day, the rotary and a wool pad, those big 9-inch wool pads.
I sell them.
The paint was really hard back in the day, and the compounds were designed to be aggressive and heat activated, so you can really crank up the temperature with a wool pad and one of the and a rotary, right? But again, the E.O.D, evolve or die, paint is different. The European paints are so soft now. Like, you can micro mar the soft paint just by wiping it down with a microfiber towel. So you really need to answer your question on the screen. My barber says you can always cut more, you can't cut less. So I decided I was going to go. I started out with fab polish and a green foam pad, and it didn't do anything that I wanted to. And that's when I switched over to the Eurofiber pad and turned up the speed a little bit. And man, I got amazing results. So, the best that I can say is I would start out smaller, and then if you need to get more aggressive, then get more aggressive. Always start in an inconspicuous area, or an area that's really kind of that needs some love. And if you can get it out using the bare minimum, because also being taught under the Apex school of thought, you don't want to remove more clear coat than you absolutely have to. You're trying to protect.
Always start out least aggressive. What I do when I have a car that I know is trash and I don't know what it's going to take to do it, because I don't know if it's hard paint, soft paint, because I don't care. The same model car from the same factory can have different paint. I start back on the right rear quarter panel. That's where I test every product. I don't know why. That's where I go. And I start out with least aggressive. So what I would do, to answer your question, I start at the Fabulous Finishing Polish with a foam. Then if that didn't do it, I'd go to a microfiber, a Eurofiber, or just a regular microfiber pad. If that didn't do it, you're going to step up to Pop a Cut with a foam. If that doesn't do it, I mean, you figure it out. But if you start the least aggressive and it takes it out immediately, your job just got really easy for one.
Sure.
You don't have to two-step it, but you're also barely removing hardly any clear coat at all, because clear coat's thinner than a piece of paper. It's thinner than this piece of paper right here.
I have samples. That's what
clear coat.
Yeah, on the we have the thickness gauge.
Oh yeah, I have those too. Duh, I have those.
Yeah, the thickness gauges, and they show you exactly. I mean, they show you how thin this clear coat can be when you're setting up the gauge.
Yep.
It is. I mean, it is nothing. You're dealing with nothing.
Ryan Hansen, what's up, man? He says I made it. What's up, Ryan?
Right.
I
love that
rotary
guy. He's the inspiration behind the Pay It Forward campaigns.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this is 100 UMs or 3.94 millimeters. Look at that. That's it. That's what's protecting your paint from the elements. And you can go at it with you can go at it with.
How thick is that? 3.9 mils. 3.9 mils. Yeah. So I was at a BMW dealership a couple weeks ago. They had a brand new 2023 X5 that was white. And it had swirls all over it right off the truck. Brand new. So I'm in there and they're like, man, we got to cut on this. What do you suggest we do? I'm like, well, first thing you want to do, you want to measure it. So I got my paint thickness gauge out because I was selling them there. I was trying to sell it to them. And we put the paint thickness gauge on her. It was 2.3 mils on a brand new 2023 X5 BMW.
That's nuts.
That is, you don't want to cut on that. And I told him, I said, you really don't want to do anything to it.
I'm just going to put a wax on it and call it a day. A filler wax.
Like,
you're going to use the Colonite insulator wax.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yep. I think the ticket price on was like $109,000 too.
Good grief.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insanity. All right. Hey, listen, we are coming up on the 1 hour mark. I know that we said that we'd try to keep it to 1 hour ish.
Yeah.
Is there a trivia question you want to throw out to the kids tonight? Maybe give them a chance to win something for tuning in. I feel like their behavior should be rewarded in some way, shape, or form.
Their behavior should be rewarded.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
especially since there's only 12 likes and there's like, I can't even tell you how many people are watching it or have watched it.
I don't even know how to see that on here. I don't see where it tells me how people are even watching it.
It doesn't. So. I have YouTube opened on another screen.
All right, so if you watched my video from last weekend, 10 myths in the detailing world. What was my Papa Smurf? You can't win.
Yeah.
What was my number one myth in the detailing world?
Say the question one more time.
What is my number one myth in the detailing world? Is in my video from last week.
What is your number one myth in the detailing world?
Yep.
Unicorns do exist. They are real.
Everybody's watching my video right now.
Everybody's going back to the 10-minute mark on your video right now. Hey, by the way, I didn't say this to you, but fantastic shirt you're wearing there, sir.
Oh, yeah. It looks good on me, too. It's perfect.
It's beautiful. It brings out the color of your eyes. Hey, speaking of shirts, I don't know if you saw this post from earlier. Whoa, almost. Too much.
Yes, I saw the picture from your brother.
Yeah. So we are
cool.
the official sponsor for Trainwreck Archery. My brother, Trainwreck himself. We had this shirt specially designed for him. I talked to I affectionately call her Edna from The Incredibles, where she was like, "No gates, We were able to, basically it has a very special material that's very breathable. So you know that he's a para athlete. He lost both of his legs,
Yep.
and the rules of USA Archery, or whatever the governing body of archery is, when the Paralympian has to go out and perform, they set up his chair on the line, and it can't be, because it's regulated, it can't be moved after that. So basically, that athlete is sitting in that chair for the next 6 to 8 hours.
Holy crap.
Doesn't matter what the weather conditions are outside. I mean, it can be 90 plus degrees in Pennsylvania, brutal humidity, and he just bakes. And we'll set up an umbrella for him, and we bring out ice packs for his neck and his shoulders and things of that nature. But it's ruthless. So the way it's supposed to work is you shoot your round. You have an AC line, and then you have a BD line, and the A's and the C's shoot together, and the B's and the D's shoot together. And when you're not shooting, you get to go back to your tent and relax and refresh and do all that stuff. But the Olympian, or the athlete in the wheelchair, you have to sit there. So everything that you need to do. So he'll set up that big huge umbrella, and he have to relieve himself. He relieves himself there on the firing line and all that stuff. So
that's crazy.
It's insane. I don't see how it can possibly be fair or legal or whatnot. And I've been talking with the ADA, Americans with Disabilities, to see if there's some intervention they can do to whatever. But anyway, so I was talking with Edna about this shirt, and she was able. I mean, it's got UV protection. It has breathability. It pulls the moisture away from the body. Like, this stuff is some real space age stuff. The name of her company is Full Drawn Addiction. They do specialize in archery jerseys, but they also have all kinds of other apparel. So I'd love to give her a shout out to her for that. But this shirt's going to go on the wall with all the other archery shirts for my brother. And I'm just really, really honored and proud that my company can sponsor him. His former sponsor came into a little bit of trouble, and they got rid of all of their sponsorees. And so as soon as he said, "Oh, I lost my sponsor," I'm like, I'm in. So
what would it take to get it? What would it take to be able to get a shirt like that? Not necessarily with the UV protection and all that, but design a T-shirt like that. That'd be cool.
I'll give you her information. You just reach out to her. She'll do anything you want.
No, I'm talking about yours, Phoenix, the Phoenix shirt.
Oh yeah, I got 3 of them myself.
I like that. It's just a regular T-shirt. I like that design. It's pretty cool.
Oh, so all right, yeah. Well, we'll talk afterwards, and I will. If I know Papa Smurf had mentioned that he wanted something like that, so maybe I'll design a 4 Horseman line.
Yeah, I'd wear it.
It's got my name has my shirt, or my shirt has my name on it, and obviously it'll say FAB and Papa Smurf and Apex and Miranda.
That's cool. Nobody's guessed the question right, by the way.
Okay.
So nobody watched my video last week.
You see, that's because they're all gearing up for the details.
Oh, there it is.
Which one?
There it is. Super Auto got it. You have to
use
2 buckets. That's the number 1 myth.
So how many buckets do you have to
What's he win? Does he win anything?
Yeah,
Does he win anything?
He gets the Titan.
Sweet.
He gets the Titan. I need your email me, Aaron@phoenixeod.com, with your info, and I'll send you out a free bottle of Titan. Winner, chicken dinner. And then I have a question. What's that?
Yeah.
All right. So my question.
I said,
what's that? What?
There's a delay. He said a 4 Horseman shirt like that. Hell yes.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, let's do it. So then my question for a free bottle of Titan would be, what year, what city, and what continent did my brother lose his where did he crash? Where did he crash and when? Thanks. It's not the answer. No, nobody. Wow. I mean, I just wrote the article yesterday. It's fine. Whatever. I
Was it
like
on
it.
the picture?
Yeah, it was underneath the picture. It was in the Instagram and
Oh,
Facebook post. Yeah.
well, I'll be honest with you. I looked at the picture. I was like, man, those are awesome. And then I kept going. I didn't read it. Sorry.
That's exactly what my wife said. Up, 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 up. What year? What year? What year? So close. So close.
What's up, M&J Auto Detailing?
Right? There it is. She got it. All right. Tracy Murchison gets a Titan. Whoop, 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 whoop. Excellent.
Tracy could go either way, actually.
What's that?
Tracy can be male or female, unless you know her.
I do know her. She's been
Okay.
a very supportive customer since the very
Awesome.
beginning. Since the very beginning.
Cool.
Yeah, I believe it's Alabama. Greenbow,
I hear that state
Alabama.
every year.
What's
I
that?
was just there. I was just there at Talladega.
Is that where Talladega is? Is in Alabama?
Talladega, Alabama. Yeah.
Really? How is that? Is it as exciting the first time as it is like the 19th time you've been there?
Well, I've only been there once. This is my first time ever being there. So yeah, it was
Oh, I
pretty
thought you
exciting.
were. I thought you went to all those races all the time. Didn't you go there?
No, I've been.
What were you doing last year?
I went to Darlington last year, North Carolina.
Oh,
They go to more than one track, Aaron.
yeah, I heard it's a circuit. Did they
so
ever go to the? Did they ever race in the Poconos?
yes, they race Pocono twice a year, and then they used to race Indianapolis, the Brickyard 400, but that the viewership kind of dropped on that because it was just so darn hot here. But I went to most of those races when they were here. I've been to many Indy 500s, which is tomorrow. I've been to many Indy 500s, too many to count actually. I don't really go to them anymore just because I've pretty much seen it and it's not worth the crowd. When you go to the Indy 500, you sit in traffic all morning for a couple hours, and then you sit in traffic all afternoon for a couple hours, if not longer, trying to get out of the place. It holds basically 500,000 people, and they're all just in like sardines to watch the race. And then when the race is over, everybody hits the exits at the exact same time. So if you don't hurry up and get the heck out of there, you're stuck. I mean, and it sucks. It's awful. I've been stuck in it. It's bad. I got stuck in on a motorcycle one year. That was terrible. No,
Good night,
so
Papa
hot.
Smurf. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Yep. Thanks, Papa Smurf. We'll see you this coming week, man.
Super Auto
going to Daytona next February.
Did you see the banner when I put it up there? Up.
Uh-oh. Nope.
Mark Kelly in the house. Whoop whoop.
Yep. Mark Kelly, what's up, man?
Better late than never. So anyway, you have now reached the 1 hour and 3 minute mark. So you are no longer contractually obligated to stay on the live.
I can stay a few more minutes.
All right. It
don't bother me.
Let's just kind of recap. Southern Detailers Convention. It will be here on Friday. The doors open at noon. If you do not get your educational passes beforehand, the three of you guys will be here on Friday. All four of you guys will be there on Saturday. And other than that, I think it's just going to be an absolutely fantastic show. We're going to be probably most likely doing this crazy burger joint on Thursday night. I've been told it's one of the best burgers in Kentucky. And then I'm not really quite sure what we're going to do on Friday night, but there's an award ceremony with a banquet. And all four of you guys unanimously said, let's skip it and go get food. Southern
no reason to go to
Kentucky. Yeah, we don't need to go to some stupid award ceremony. So we're doing that.
Because it's not for any of us anyways.
Right, exactly. And then Saturday night we're going to do the big quote unquote after party, but it's just going to be, food and dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
But in a place big enough for everybody to come out and hang out. And then Shiny Lights in the house.
Yep. What's up, Tim?
And then let's see here. Oh, everybody, this Monday in 2 days, Memorial Day, at 7 p.m., we will have the fourth and final Horseman on the show. Phil Miranda from Miranda Detailing will be here. He's bringing the heat, and just an excellent fellow. I think, I honestly, I believe out of the four of you guys, he's the unsung hero. He gets the least amount of love, and it's not from like. It's not like on purpose. I get asked all the question, "Hey, how come you don't do enough stuff with Miranda?" That dude is always hustling. I mean, he
Yep.
is a mover and a shaker.
Yep.
I have such an admiration for that guy. Everything that he does, and his story arc is just incredible. And I got to go out and see him. I meet him and hang out with him. We went out to dinner last summer. It was just such a. It was
Him,
really
him and his wife Jess, they both worked their butts off.
they nonstop. Like the fact that they're
Yeah.
going, they're turning, like they're even turning this appearance at the Southern Detailers Conference. They talk about a solid favor, 100% favor that he's doing to me, because they're on vacation. They're out. They do a lot of quad running and doing a bunch of cool stuff with the quads. And the fact that he's showing up on Saturday and tying it into his vacation is just, I mean, really, truly, I'm blessed. You guys, I'm blessed by the four of you and your friendships. I couldn't have done it without you, for sure. You know it. You know it. And I mean, in the beginning, you and I were on the phone every day. So
It's crazy where it came, where it all started, and how it's come about is what's crazy to me.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Because I haven't met you, and I haven't met Eric in person, but I've met Brian and I've met Phil.
Yeah, you
So
guys
I'm
are going,
excited.
you guys all went to that turtle wax thing in Arizona together, right?
Went to Turtle Wax, and then Phil came to the Koshkimi event in Atlanta, so we met down there again. Brian was supposed to go, but he said he was too busy, because I contacted Brian to find out if he was going. He said I was supposed to. I'm just too busy, because he stays busy too, as you know.
This guy right here that I just highlighted. You see him on your screen, Brian Eckert?
Yep.
This guy is he's something special right there. If you need a car, if your car breaks down and you need a car anywhere in the tri-state area of Philadelphia, Delaware, and or New Jersey, this gentleman is the go-to guy. He basically owns and operates like 900 Avises in the area, and for real. And when I was when I was just cutting my teeth at the old job, and I was really hunting after the white whale, which was Avis corporate. He really just, I mean, he didn't have to, but he opened up a whole lot of doors for me, and I mean, solid guy, awesome dude, has a wonderful family. Just I have a lot of respect and love for this guy, and the fact that he's every day talk about grinding and hustling, and I think he's secretly taken over the Avis industry here in the, like I said, in the tri-state area of Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware. Awesome fellow. So big shout out to Brian.
We just have, we have to hustle. All of us, we have to hustle. If you want to make a living now in this economy, for sure, you have to hustle. I mean, it is nonstop all the time. It's just it's gotten kind of old to me, because there for a while I was turning wrenches Monday through Friday.
Right.
Friday through Sunday I was detailing. Sunday through Saturday I was YouTube comments and making videos and editing videos, and that's just to make it. I mean, just to make a good living for me and my family. It's the days of, because I didn't go to college, and I went straight to work right out of high school, because, and a lot of people probably already know this, when I was in high school, my senior year, I had a baby. So, well, I didn't have a baby, Aaron. Let's just not, because I know where this is going to go with you. Me and my girlfriend had a baby.
That's great.
And I had to grow up really fast. I had a lot of interest from all the major colleges to play football, and I dropped out of it so I could take care of my daughter that was going to be born she was born in April. I graduated in May. And I ended up not going to college. I could have went to any college I wanted to go to. I had letters from all of them. I have stacks of them still. To
Well,
put
I mean,
football.
you definitely have a very Ben Roethlisberger kind of thing going on there. So
Oh man,
I,
no, I
I,
can't
I
stand
can
the
totally see
Steelers.
it. I can totally see it.
Can't stand the
Oh,
Steelers.
yeah, I know it's really it's tough. It's tough being in the elite crowd. I get it. No, not everybody can handle that kind. Not everybody can
Mm.
handle it. I get it. I get it.
Mm.
What you're a
Ooh.
refurbished Baltimore Colts, aren't you? Refurbished Baltimore Colts. Isn't that what that is?
So what we doing at Southern Detours Conference again? I'm trying to remember what were we talking about earlier. I have cousins. I have cousins that live in Baltimore, and they cannot stand us because of the Colts. And I always say, hang on a minute, you guys took the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Remember?
they're Brown Town. What are you talking about?
Oh, and he's always got excuses. No, we didn't take. Yes,
Yes,
you
yes,
did.
yes. I was
And you
there.
guys won your Super Bowl with the Browns team that should have won the Super Bowl.
I was living in Pittsburgh when that deal went down, and you obviously the Pittsburgh Browns rivalry is as old as the teams are.
Oh yeah.
And I remember they had the Fort Pitt Bridge. Obviously Pittsburgh. There's like 27 bridges that connect everything in Pittsburgh. The Fort Pitt Bridge had this ginormous dummy, and it was being hung. The dummy was being hung off the bridge, and it had a big, huge sign on it that said, "The Cleveland Browns suck, but Art Modell blows." And that was when they sold to Baltimore. Pittsburgh was so pissed. I mean, they were so upset about that sale that the city of Cleveland actually wrote the Pittsburgh. What is the name of the newspaper? It's been so long. Like the Inquiry or something. Pittsburgh Post Gazette.
Inquirer.
Something like that. Anyway, whatever the Pittsburgh newspaper was, they wrote a letter to the editor. The city was and thanked the city of Pittsburgh for all of their years of support and rivalry, and that it was really sad for them as well. So, yeah, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. And the fact of the matter is that I think I said you were recycled Baltimore Colts, and they're recycled Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm young enough that I don't remember when the Colts came here.
What?
I was born in 81. I think the Colts thing happened in like 83 or 84.
Oh, okay.
So
that's fair, because I was like, wait a second.
The entire time that I can remember, the Colts have always been Indianapolis Colts.
Huh. I didn't realize I was that much older than you.
And we sucked forever until Peyton Manning came along.
Wait, did you say that in past tense?
Forever. Yeah, I did, because when Peyton came along, we had a good, 14 seasons, something like that with him. I mean, amazing. And then now we're back to sucking again. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited about this new quarterback from Florida, even though he's not very well tested. He's basically right out of high school for the most part. But he has got some athletic ability like crazy, Anthony Richardson guy. So I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Well, to be fair, to be perfectly fair, I pretty much retired from professional sports with Hines Ward. When Hines Ward retired, I was done with football, and I was a fanatic. I remember, screaming at the TV and screaming outside, and not watching the game and being superstitious. And I had I have a home jersey and an away jersey, and it's got my high school number on it and my name on it, because I was like, you can't trade a Burkett, that kind of crap. And then it got too much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I was watching a podcast, and it might have been Joe Rogan or something like that, but it basically, you tune into sports and stuff like that to get away from politics. You just want to enjoy and relax and forget about all of the problems in the world for just 5 minutes. And it just seems
but
like
now politics is in everything.
It's in everything. And it's crazy. I stopped listening to the news, and I used to listen to news radio every single morning. People would call me and ask me questions about, the political pulse and things of that nature, because I was so plugged into all of that stuff. And then in November, I turned it all off. Off. Like the other day, the flags were at half mast, and I had no idea why. I had to look it up, Google, why are the flags at half mast today? It's
Yep,
just,
I don't watch any national news anymore. I do watch local in the mornings to see what's going on around us. But when it gets stupid, I turn it off and go to something else. But yeah,
I can't watch. I don't watch any of it. I'm completely disconnected, which is terrifying because that means that when the bombs do drop, I'm not going to know about it. It's too late.
well, if that happens, we're screwed anyways. It don't matter.
Maybe I should say, maybe when the bottom drops out, I won't know.
Yeah,
until it's too late.
Yeah, there you go. If the bombs drop, it don't matter if we know or not.
Right.
Yep. So I'm gonna get off of here, man. I'm gonna call
All
it
right.
night and
I
go
know.
inside.
I
And
appreciate you.
family.
We had Miller Detailing show up at the end, and everybody just thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, do all those things. Follow my boy Fab. He's a horseman and a true friend, and I do appreciate your time. I appreciate your family giving me your time. I love those pictures. Keep sending them to me. I can't wait. I can't wait to hang out with you.
I'll be sending you some pictures on this bike when I get it coated, dude. This paint is just killer. So
awesome.
It's gonna look amazing. Right on, man. Well, have a good weekend, and I will see you in person next Friday.
Saturday, right? Saturday. So we got
yes, we got 6 days, man.
Can't wait.
Basically 5 days.
Dude, we're gonna break bread in 6 days. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you then. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Talk to you later. For tuning in. Appreciate you. All right. Bye.